everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're going to be talking about the U.S. weekly forecast from January 19th through the 26th, so you can plan your week ahead. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel, as I will upload about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. All right, so let's get started. So here's an overall temperatures as far as high temperatures coming up on this afternoon. And you can see actually 37% of the country won't even actually make it above freezing. So we've got below freezing highs in the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and much of the United States of the Central Plains and Iowa, single digits, Illinois in the teens. So we've got some pretty chilly air coming up this afternoon. If you take a look at the surface map, you can see that system we dealt with over the weekend as it's leaving leftover snow showers as it pulls away from the northeast. But you can see that Arctic high pressure, 1044 millibar high pressure. That's why we're so cold. And Arctic air is typically the coldest, driest air you can have. And you can see it's clearing out. By tomorrow morning, these are probably the lowest we've seen all year, as 82% of the country is going to be below freezing. So much of Washington, Oregon, Nevada, into Arizona, New Mexico, much of Texas, even to the deep south in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, even the panhandle of Florida is going to get in the action. The Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, all these areas below freezing, and we're the core of the cold in the Dakotas again. We're going to bottom out negative 20, and these are actual temperatures, not even real feel, and that's going to be 30 below 30 degrees below zero with as far as wind chill goes. So some brutally cold air coming up for you guys Monday morning for the upper Midwest. But if you take a look at the surface map, you can see that Arctic high pressure even deepens further. Now it's a 1050 Arctic high pressure, and this is pretty rare to see, but you can see it's severe clear across the United States as that system clears out, as the atmosphere kind of like reloads itself. If we take a look at some of the high temperatures on Monday, you can see, again, 35% of the country won't even make it above freezing. So as that high pressure really deepens, it drags in that core of the cold and centers it in the center part of the country, where we've got Minnesota, much of the Dakotas, Iowa, Nebraska won't even make it out of the single digits, and some of you guys won't even make it above zero. But this core of the cold pulls in through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. These are high temperatures in the 20s through Pennsylvania and all up in New England, in the 30s, and pulling in and into like Washington and Oregon. If we take it out to Tuesday morning, now we've got about 79% of the country still below freezing. So a good one out of 5 is not even going to make it above freezing. So as that core of the cold really deepens over Iowa now we're seeing the double digit below zero temperatures in Iowa. This centers over the plains and really deepens over Kansas, Missouri. Now we're getting to Illinois, where it has the core of the cold, but this even widespread 20s for the deep south in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all the Carolinas, and check out Florida, pulling in 27 in the Panhandle, and even down in the Central Florida, we might see the freezing line kind of creep in. So they're going to be getting the action in on Tuesday morning. And of course, widespread 20s into the Carolinas, into Kentucky and Tennessee, and through Virginia and West Virginia into Pennsylvania. If we take a look at the surface map, again, that Arctic high pressure kind of shifts off. We're kind of like reloading, but we see this. We watch this other system coming into Utah, where it's just kind of forming, and this will actually dig in over Texas and swing up through the plains throughout the week. So I'll kind of show you that. If we take a look at the high temperatures on Tuesday, again, we won't even get out of the teens in Iowa and much of Michigan and into Minnesota, but we're still below normal temperatures for the deep south. 50 degrees for a high temperature. Normal high is 56 in Dallas, so we're still below normal, which we will be all work week long. We won't even get above normal till probably Saturday. So this colder air will entrench itself even down to the deep south, where we're seeing, low 40s for highs all the way into Georgia. If we take a look at the temperature map, low temperatures on Thursday, this is where it kind of gets interesting, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You see 38, but a lot of areas are a lot of the models are showing even down to 34. So I'll show you the surface map next. But as this system deepens, we've got that core of the cold. We've got colder air. Now we're entrenching further into Florida. Widespread 20s in the Panhandle. Again, much of the Southeast. So you've been wanting some cold air. So now it's here for a couple days. So definitely enjoy it. And we'll see widespread 20s into Kentucky and Missouri, all the Illinois states. So we've got a good chunk of the country still below freezing. But if you take a look at the surface map, like I said, this is where it kind of gets interesting. It's been severe clear over Texas for the past couple days now. But then by Wednesday morning, we still got the dew points in the 20s. And as this system kind of moistens up, we've got surface temperatures around 34, 35 degrees. And Dallas-Fort Worth is going to be right on the edge where we could be taking advantage of dynamic cooling or the wet bulb effect, where we could have a small transition, again, like 3 to 6 hours. This is like early Wednesday morning where we could see some mixed sleet pellets or even potentially snow. Now, I guess this is 4 days out. So, and again, we're going to be right on the edge here. So, but that if it would occur, that would be Wednesday morning, especially the further northeast you live and towards the Red River. But probably much of Oklahoma and into Kansas will be seeing that changeover to snow as this low really deepens and pulls into the plains. If we take a look at the high temperatures on Wednesday, you can see 48 in Dallas is probably about 44. So even if it does have wet snowflakes or sleet, it's not going to stick or anything. So might be fun to look at, even if it occurs, and it's a very small chance. But a little bit more likely in the morning hours into Oklahoma as this system pulls up. But you can see, high temperatures still hanging on to the freezing line coming up into Minnesota. If we take a look at Thursday morning temperatures, now we're starting to see those lower temperatures in much of the Colorado and Wyoming and Idaho, and widespread teens and 20s still hanging on into the Northeast. We kind of modify for the Southeast now, so we're not seeing 20s now. We're seeing 30s all the way down to the coast. But as this system kind of pulls in, this is by Thursday morning, it kind of really deepens over the plains, and a lot of models are pretty bullish over like Missouri, where this low really kind of stalls itself out and kind of really gets its act together. So right now it's a 1014 millibar, so we'll have to be watching this system as this really kind of develops, and now that this will be Thursday. If we take a look at some of the high temperatures on Thursday, you can see where the core of the cold of that low pressure will be signified over like Missouri. We kind of rebound to normal now into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where we got a little bit more colder air coming in for the Central Plains. By Friday morning, we can see that colder air entrenching back in. Now we're like 38 in Dallas, 20s up in the Northeast. We've got more colder air pulling in on the backside as this system really starts to get going. But as the surface map on Friday, you can see the low pressure now down to 1,006. It was 1014, so it kind of really deepens over the plains, and we'll have to watch this track as we go throughout the week. But a lot of models are pretty bullish in the state of Missouri, where it's dumping heavier snow, 6 to 12 inch amounts, and then it'll swing into Iowa. This will swing through Illinois and Ohio, and then through the mid-Atlantic again. So we'll have to watch this system throughout the week. As far as high temperatures on Friday, again, it kind of normalizes itself into the deep south, into Dallas. Normal highs 56, so we're pulling for 58. So we've, like I said, the main story later on this week will be this low pressure as this pulls up and we start to modify into the southeast. By Saturday morning, we can see the temperatures, again, another cold front comes in from the northwest. So we'll be watching this system as this all comes together. So it's kind of like maybe like a deja vu effect. We'll be dealing with another storm system in a lot of the same areas that received the snow over the weekend. So we'll be watching this track closely, and by Saturday, the surface temperature map has that low stalling, and as it deepens over Illinois and Indiana, and it'll swing into Ohio and the Mid Atlantic, and then by Sunday, of course, it'll go into the Northeast. So if we take a look at the overall high temperatures on Saturday, we can see we've got 40s. So I mean, we'll have to watch the rain snow line and where this all transpires, but we've got more colder air coming in from the northwest, so we'll just have to watch all this, how it all comes together. We look at the precipitation outlook over the next 7 days. It's pretty bullish in the northwest. Again, we've got, you can look at the chart, 4 to 5 inches of rain precipitation coming in off the northwest, again off into Washington and into Oregon, and even some heavier amounts, 1 to 2 inch common amounts into Texas, where they've already received. I mean, we're already 3.93 in Dallas, so the average is 2.13. It's the second driest month of the year. So we're well above average in Texas, and making a major dent into the drought, especially in the central Texas. But as this move into the southeast, we've got again 1 to 2, 3 inch common amounts of precipitation as this system really starts to deepen over the plains, and it'll go into the northeast. If we take a look at the snowfall map for the latest European model, you can see it's pretty bullish over Missouri. So it's got some snow in the northwest, but typically this is a lot of this is the higher elevations. So it won't even get into Denver. So a lot of this is going to be in the higher elevations for you guys in the northwest. But like I said, the main story this week will be this system that's going to be cranking over the plains. It'll be dumping more snow in Missouri, Iowa, into Minnesota, and Wisconsin, eventually into Michigan. And eventually, probably by next weekend, we'll be dumping snow in the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. And this is the European model, and the Canadian model is actually even more bullish. Typically it is, but it spreads, widespread, 10 to 12 inches. So again, this is, 7 days out. So obviously this will change drastically over the course of the week. But this will kind of give you a general idea of where the next system is going to come from. It's basically going to come from the plains through the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast this week, into the middle part of the week into the next weekend. So we'll definitely be watching for that. It kind of gives you an overview of how this week is going to play out. Definitely, like this video and share with your friends on social media if you found value in this video, and please subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below, and definitely catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.